My goodness. Already, welcome to Pirate Night. Time to have some fun, folks, as we continue with our crew of more mature whiskers than our last ones, as we have them had fully invaded what once was the ladies' campus, it seems. Have been overrun with stone and buildings and various traps and arenas that have been turned into experimentation pods of all shapes and sizes. And they defeated a seemingly crack crew of individuals that were there to cause some problems. And with only two fully seemingly escaping. And they hear the druids that they had partnered with to do this, who they suspect are behind the terrorist attacks all along the Menagerie Coast. And to see precisely what is going on. Of course, as always, we are playing in a fantasy world, and that's all this is. And so we'll continue that realm and have some fun. That's always good to say. We've got fun. We are starting some new stuff on Monday night. If anyone up there is interested, you can check it out at jambalo.com to get any to get to that game. I believe there was one spot remaining, and we will see what else happens. So, without further ado, we find all of you trapped. So trapped, my gosh. Finished fighting the ones that were trying to break into the lady's vault, of which you had already pilfered what you wanted. And now it's basically the time where things are going down. You're able to successfully hold your position while the Druids join, and the releasing of many of the denizens will shortly begin. So, with all of that in mind, what is it that you would all like to do?
Are you all right?
I'm wonderful.
You don't look all right, Captain.
Nope. That is healthy. Blood cough. That's what that was. Healthy blood cough.
You just had a few naps there. It's okay.
Mid-fight naps.
I just lost my footing a couple times. That's it.
Your face was on the ground.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I like I said, I slipped. I failed to catch myself.
That's what you say, Captain. But I think it would be good to get some of your blood and breath back into you. And I don't know how long I'm just going to start preparing basically a spell of sorts that is going to give everyone some of their blood back, basically. But it takes 10 minutes. I'm just going to continue it while you guys do whatever.
Can we walk and do that spell, or do we need to?
I think I can. I think I can walk and do it. Yeah.
It's prayer of healing. It's not a ritual, so you don't have to
right.
But it's still a 10-minute casting time.
Yeah.
Right. But I can watch and I think cast as long as I'm not doing anything else really.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a real way to solve this. Matt, can he walk and cast Prayer of Healing?
Can you walk and cast Prayer of Healing? Yeah.
Okay, there we go, guys. Answer required.
There we go.
Rana stares at the sun through the ceiling. Yes, you can walk and cast that spell.
Yeah, because when you're in the midst of a casting time, it's just as if you were concentrating on a spell.
Right. That's what I thought.
All right. Well, we've checked all of them for anything, correct?
I will double check to make sure I didn't miss anything.
No, you are good to go.
They don't have any like written orders or nothing on them.
No.
Okay.
Is there
Alright.
anything of like an insignia or anything like that tying them to the League of Miracles or potentially this specific like specialty group?
I would say most you can find here is on the back of their necks. There is a purple dagger tattooed.
Okay.
Okay, so
I mean,
that's 18
certainly
health to
some of you
everyone.
might have speak with dead spells if you want, but it's up to you.
I mean,
That
even
matters
if
for all slots.
yeah, I'm like, I don't think us having
Yeah.
it is the problem with us not being able to cast them.
I
So we
don't
can
even
always
have
get
it.
the body in a bag of holding for later.
Good. We just need a head. If it has an intact jaw.
For this very
Intact
particular
jaw.
case, if you would like to do it as a ritual, I would let you.
Does anyone have it prepared?
I don't think so.
I don't.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't think I'd be speaking with dead today.
Well, he did say he would let you do it as a ritual.
True.
Yeah, but for clerics, you still have to have it prepared.
You'd have to have it prepared.
Yeah.
That's the,
I'm done.
that's the
I'm
differentiation
out of my benevolence.
between clerics and wizards. Is that wizards, as long as they can read it from their spell book, they can ritual cast it. But clerics have to have it prepared for the day.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let us venture onward. If we've got everything we need from here, let's go see if we can meet up with
Well,
the
we can
druids.
confirm what they're doing. Ramane, can you patch us in to see where they're at with things?
Are you asking them to patch you in?
Not to speak, to just give us a visual. Like, are they still like? Does it look like they've realized that the fighting is done? Are they still on the defensive? Just to know.
Yeah, right now it's like it's people are clearing rooms, as in like making sure things are clear. There might be a few things left, but yeah, I would say the big battle seems essentially over. And it seems like they're probably making their way towards where you are shortly.
All right. They're making their way towards us. If we want to just wait for them.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's just wait here.
Yeah, I'll just finish up my spell and 18 health. So if we had 10 minutes pass.
To everybody, right?
Yeah.
To be clear, if I'm still in T-Rex form, that's the T-Rex, not to me, right?
Correct.
I mean, that's
Yes.
yeah.
So if
unless someone drops.
you would be able to discern that we're healing if you wanted to drop out of T-Rex form.
But it's my last polymorph. Oh.
Get more polymorphs at the store, okay?
Right? I mean, usually I just go out for cigarettes and never come back.
Do you have polymorph money?
You got polymorph at home.
I'll take the 18 as a T-Rex.
Polymorph at home.
All right, a healthier T-Rex.
Right. And by the way, you guys have a massive puppy following you around, just like sniffing, occasionally licking Captain Airman's wounds, just like, happy to be here.
That's gonna get
What's up?
infected.
So fast.
It's a good.
Belden, that is quite enough of that, please.
But it tastes good.
Yes, fish blood apparently tastes good. I'm assuming my blood's similar to that of a fish's.
You know, they are thinking that T-Rexes were more of scavengers than actual hunters.
Sniff.
Try licking one of them. See how they taste.
I think in this time I'm gonna start looking at my crazy tree nunchuck.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have anyone that can identify it, do we?
Not in present form.
Of
The
course.
T-Rex.
T-Rex
man.
cast identify. T-Rex pulls a little book out, reading glasses.
I mean, he would be able to. It's just his arms aren't close enough. He can't form the proper hand signals for it. Also,
Can't turn the page.
the three talons aren't the same. He needs that. He needs all 5 fingers.
You don't know that.
I mean, with 3
I mean, yeah,
hands,
look
it's a
at
middle.
Yoda. Yoda has 3 fingers.
Yoda's special.
Are you saying Belden's not special
He's not like,
as a T-Rex?
I
saying the
mean,
B-Rex isn't
Belden's
special?
special ed, but
he's saying the Beldosaurus Rex isn't special.
All right.
So yeah, we're just waiting for the druids to basically get to us, so that way they're not surprised and attack us.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, yeah, because you found a little bit of stuff that they had on them, these people. The rapier, and I would say with this, all who would like to go ahead and take a short rest if you want.
yes.
Hell yeah, I'll take a short rest.
I will drop out of T-Rex for that for sure.
Yeah.
Arcane recovery, my old friend.
And we'll move here. Those who were directly involved in the battle here, as you you've moved outside of the complex, and there is a fire. The flame burns a verdant green, and from short resting near it with the jurors who prepared it, all of you can roll 5 hit dice worth of hit dice and get that many temp HP.
Oh hot damn! Is that like full on like hit die like if we were regular rolling? So adding our con mod.
Yeah. While this is happening, others have gone in and
Holy
begun
shit!
assessing the situation, especially with those who are hooked up to the machines. All of you share some information as you found attacking or trying to destroy the crystal apparatus had negative effects, as that has been shared. And a few who seem to have been in early stages or haven't experienced the mutations yet from the azure crystals have been removed from their pods, and so not conscious as of yet, but recovering.
Were they able to remove that like mouthpiece that had been sewn into them? Was that like a breathing apparatus within the liquid, or?
Yeah, a few. They were able to do it with a few of them. The ones that they were able to get out, they felt safe, because some, it seemed as though it was easily removed than others.
Gotcha.
So basically, it looks like they're the ones that maybe had been in for a day or two. They think they're able to get out. Others, they're like, it looks like someone needs to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whether it's how to disconnect that, it's like in some ways it seems to be a more complex medical procedure, and so they don't. They've left all of them alone for now.
Solid. Did we come in contact with the druid that we spoke with?
Yeah, he is here initially. As he's talking with you now, and so this is time to go through as he asks everything you have found, and is there anything you have hidden from him?
Everything.
You were like, we ran through, we killed things, whatever.
I think the rapier went to. Wait, who the hell's Velmax?
Oh shit!
The rapier I think went to Anansi, so I think that might still just be out that they could see, but basically everything else, if I'm not mistaken, is in the bag of holding, or well, the life turners around the captain's neck. But yeah, definitely
and
not.
I still have that katana thing.
Yeah, and then
dragging
the
katana
weapons that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tronus is openly holding the spear.
Yep.
That he like put down to use as a mace, then picked back up.
And
I
Belden's
would-
backpack is conspicuously larger with spell books.
I would definitely warn them or inform them of Ramune to make sure that they don't like go attacking him or them at this point. So that way that's not another issue.
Mhm.
But other than that, yeah, not telling them, hey, yeah, we've looted this place because they were trying to save people, but they were also technically invading the island also. So they were trying to help these people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to give them everything that we found of the ladies.
Right.
Because the lady was still technically an enemy of ours, and we're just keeping quiet about, where we're originating from.
Absolutely. And you'd figured out with them that they had various they were here before talking to them before the invasion happened. But with this speaks. Thank you. We've taken them on, and all that's left is to destroy or get rid of whatever these things are.
Common, you said that there was a couple hundred of these chosen. We've only seen a couple handfuls. Did you come across many more, or in the areas that you cleared?
Well, you do remember you came across a whole room filled with the corpses.
Oh,
No.
I thought that was old experiments.
The experiments are the chosen.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll inform them of that too. Your hundreds has dwindled down to maybe like 30 max. If you've also found tanks.
Found a few. Oh, yes.
To be clear, when you say destruction, do you mean the ones experimenting upon or the crystals? Because the crystals seem to have a very special place to play in this place.
Crystals were not here when we came in. It seems that the crystals are what's valuable, we think, from what we were able to do when we were the mice and the flies on the wall. They will come back for that equipment.
Right.
So find a place to get it back to them.
If you were able to destroy the crystals, they'd have no reason to come back here, right?
Correct.
So it feels like top priority might not just be the poor things experimented upon, but also the method by which they experimented. They seem exceptionally dangerous if they can turn an elf into a beholder kid.
Yes. It's horrifying.
Well, it seems like these chosen were as much prisoners as anything else. Perhaps we should release them and we can bring them to safety.
So, some of them would not be safe in normal circulation, to be clear. They'd be a danger to themselves and others, too. They're, how would you say it? Unnatural, perhaps.
Seeing what has become of this place has value for us to settle upon, but not to win The 30 or so, well, we would love to have any on our side. It's not the hundreds that we had hoped.
So you're saying relative to the force you brought, this is a poor constellation, perhaps.
And yes. And therefore, if any of you would like to see them anywhere, there's no complaint with us. There's very few that look like they would be ready to go immediately. This is an affront to everything. It's not what was meant to have happened.
Yeah, some of them definitely bubble and have second heads growing out of them.
Well, the ones that are able to be freed now, we should do so and give them a choice.
What choice is that?
They are recovering.
We can take them wherever they wish. Maybe not wherever they wish, but they deserve a chance to live their lives and choose their own path.
It's well said.
And if any of them wish to join our crew, they would be more than welcome.
No.
Yeah,
We gotta feed those people, and I don't know, many arms and maybe multiple mouths. Sounds like a lot to be going around. But if you trust them,
They have not given me a reason to not trust them. Same with all of you.
well, I mean,
Let's
we
see how
also
many
didn't
of
just
them are
meet you
fit to
today.
travel. First and foremost, we cannot be inviting a plethora of unconscious persons onto the ship. Being on the ship means you work. We are not a leisure vessel.
That's why I said they would be invited to join the crew.
And work. Anyhow, it's not really that important whether we find the jobs or not at this point. It's more important where we go from here.
Well, yes. Before we decide whether we extend the offer to join the crew or not, let's first figure out which ones are safe to be released without any of them being at risk of perishing.
Common, two of the fighters escaped and ran off. Did they happen to run past you all? Or did we get the idea that they kind of like ran back the way we had come in?
They were in the other, but we attempted to stop them, but we were weak and they had they vanished and teleported a few hundred feet behind us and ran. Just didn't seem wise to pursue.
What is the time frame that you think that they would make their return, or would they have to regroup and invite more reinforcements to come back for their equipment?
Well, we can tell they have their 2 ships in dock. They have wanted to discuss with you. Since we did this together, I was to instruct my people to destroy the ships. The fear I would have is they have some type of ability to teleport members there. We can find any circles and search here to destroy them. And we'll begin seeing if there's any other ways they can quickly get troops here.
Captain, do you have any qualm with them destroying the ships?
I mean, let's make sure there's nothing of use or value first.
Are you suggesting that you could not retrieve any valuables from the ocean floor?
I mean, I could, but I don't know. It'd be easier if we did it while it's on land, where more people can help.
Generally, ships aren't on land unless something has gone very wrong.
You in dock, or just not
So,
in the not at the bottom of the ocean.
Captain, here are the options. The druids can either sink the ships now while they're trying to recuperate, same as we did, or we make an attack on the ships alongside the druids immediately. We do not want to give them time to bring forth reinforcements. As you're aware, Tronis, Belden, and Anansi have expended much of their magical prowess in this first encounter.
As have I.
I've never... As have you.
Call me a pragmatist, perhaps, but I think scuttling the ships where they are would probably be preferable to make sure that there's no. What's the story? No one creeping up behind you with a knife, as the joke goes, maybe. I feel like scuttling the ships now and here before they have time would be tactically more advantageous. But I'm not the captain.
Well, how about a quick vote to scuttle the ships? All those in favor of scuttling the ships first?
That's me raising my hand.
So that's 3.
4.
That is all right then. Scuttle the ships. I guess I'll be going for a swim later.
You say it like I won't be alongside you.
We have multiple swimmers.
All right then. Scuttle the ships. And let's see if we can hopefully get them before they get away. Any other business we need to attend to before we start looking at the people in the tubes?
We should finish exploring the rest of the facility ourselves.
Not a bad idea.
Comment, are you and yours capable of scuttling those ships, or did you need assistance?
If you would like to help, that would be appreciated. We can at least begin, and anything you have of your ship. We, like you, are exhausted. If the sooner we get them, the safer we'll be for the night. We don't know how to dispose of these crystals safely. So for now, this place is going to remain a target.
So from previous Arcana checks and watching, I think it was Craven interacting directly, is it clear how these crystals can be disposed of, or is it clear how they've been made safe? Like if we pull them out of their various control apparati and we throw them in a bag, is that okay? Like how dangerous are these things?
I think with this, because scholarships isn't going to be that big of a deal. That can process, and you can spend some time to try to figure this out. But ultimately, here, as far as how dangerous, They are extremely volatile and dangerous. It seems that the apparatus around them channels their power actually really effectively into these tanks and makes it somewhat in quotations safe by diffusing its radiation into this water. In fact, you see that the druids, just from their careful thing, took them out of the water and didn't break the tanks. You were like, that's really good, because you would think it would be somewhat unstable should a tank not be filled with water. Because it
So it's
just
safe,
it
safe in the
diffuses
tanks,
it.
near the tanks, but not safe outside the tanks. So we basically can't disarm them or remove them at this point, right?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's these mutate whatever's around them. Potentially stored in something like lead or that type of thing, they might be safe. You saw what happened when Craven tried to, chip some. The dust is very volatile. Pieces of these crystals can go and cause all types of mutations.
Was there evidence of any travel containers, like a cooler or a lead box that they moved in here with? Because they probably aren't naturally occurrent. They had to get here somewhere. Is there some device or thing that probably brought them here?
Yeah, searching around this. So interesting. It seems I'd let you find these. There are some containers that were on the ships. Inspecting them, they are heavily corroded on the inside,
Okay.
as though it wasn't a permanent solution. It's hard to know precisely. You don't know how long they were stored in there in transport. But from that, you can definitely deduce that these very magical people never teleported them. Never used teleportation magic, because it seemed like these were specifically like inlet and then shipped.
Interesting.
That was definitely a precaution that this organization took.
Well, that's relatively instructive. I'll relay all this to the rest of the crew. So we don't know how long they were in the containers, but the containers are covered from the inside, so they might be safe in there for short periods of time, but it's not a permanent solution. And honestly, we have no idea how to get rid of these damn things. Maybe leaving them in place is the most safe option for now. But Captain, I defer to your superior wisdom.
Well, you seem to be the expert, so let's, I guess, leave them as they are for now. Until we can find a safe way to release them.
Does it seem like teleporting them would cause an instant explosion here, or just where they're sent?
You're not sure.
Oops.
Probably both. Or something worse.
Or you rip a hole between the places of where you are and there.
I will give you from the studies, see if you can delve any information. Give me an Arcana check.
You got it.
Guidance.
That's a +4, so that's going to be... a 15.
15. Yeah, I think you can. I think you get what you have, and you see that there's not everyone here who is using them, who've now basically been killed or cleared out. They seem to have been well trained elsewhere on the use of these, and you get that in that they don't have. There's not a bunch of notes. They weren't figuring out how to use them here. These are people who already knew how to set this up, already knew how to do this, and therefore you do not find like documents on how to on what these are.
Did these correspond in any way with the previous reports we had heard through the Whiskers Network of transmutation attempts or like animal transmogrification, like any kind of like previous weirdness we've heard, especially from up in the north?
These would seem like they would be consistent with that.
Okay. Well, they're old pros. They've done this before.
Yeah, they definitely had it all laid out specifically, and they were efficient. And if it is the group we obviously know it is, then of course they would be skilled.
But it makes sense, right? For a group such as that, with such a long-ranging, or at least long history of modifying animals in some way, it all more or less fits the pattern. This being an outpost of theirs and them having targets here, or at least being very curious about these triplicates, an example, various forms of chosen bloodlines would be almost exactly their cup of tea. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
No, but it's just there is a particular thing that organizations like that they're hard to fall. I don't know what angle we should to approach their collapse.
Yeah, I think the starting point probably is don't destroy the crystals, scuttle the ships, and then see what we can make it this whole place.
Yes, exactly what I was thinking. That sounds like a brilliant plan.
What would you like to do?
Well, if we already went back and through the rest of the place, right?
There were still some corners to explore, as Craven pointed out.
Yeah.
There would be. I mean, it depends. I guess depends on what you guys want to do. I would say that, like, if you want to try to further explore this place, you would do so today without your long rest. If you go for the night, based on just it's almost as if this is a feeling you get. They're going to let you look around and take what you find. There will be problems tomorrow because they may want more of what's there. Because there's sort of like very much a thankfulness here, and kind of like whoever needs to take anything, like you take the risk, you do the thing, but we're all rested tomorrow. So anything you don't take, then we might go. We might.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Let's finish
If they're-
exploring.
Yeah, let's start wandering back through.
Today it's the spoils of war. Tomorrow it's we negotiate on everything.
Yeah, basically, very much
Yeah.
like what you find get, because it's kind of this warriors a little bit.
Yeah, it's post-battle high.
Yeah. Okay, so in that case, let's start with a group investigation check.
Oh boy.
Like one of those.
That's a 24.
Oh, that's actually not terrible. 13.
That's
23.
that's a 6.
13.
Okay, so Anansi's counted for 2 successes, and then that one got you the successes you needed. So, for the captain. Pull up the map here.
Just tell me
On
when.
the map, on the map, on the map.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and kind of highlight all the stuff that was taken care of ultimately. Druids.
Da, 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 da.
So, yeah, so they've warned you about the one that's over by Ramene. That's here. There's something you probably don't want to mess with today.
Mhm.
But are able.
Sorry, what did they warn us that was near Ramene?
Ramene had said like you probably don't want to go, like that there is a larger nasty thing down there.
Oh, got it.
So
But it's a small room, man. You can't possibly have something bigger than like huge.
It's a baby Tarask.
It's a baby wizard Tarask.
Oh no! It's got the pointy hat and everything.
amazing.
Not
Over here in section 3, you are able to find a secret door with your investigation checks.
Well, that's right, with the blood that Anansi had already identified.
Yeah.
This check last time.
Yeah. You like from the bodies, you're able to find blood that
Mhm.
is left over. Use it. Open the door. And there is stored here it appears to be a purple crystal that is affixed to this large brass and metal structure, like an apparatus that looks like it would fit on the prow of a ship.
Interesting.
And here there are notes. Taking your time, this is actually something that seems to be that was being developed here. Very specific. And it talks about stabilizing a portal on the Cauldron Sea. That's what it seems like they were trying to do with this.
That's interesting.
Well,
And
this seems beautiful.
also in here, there is a jar that seems to have a heart in some type of liquid.
Oh.
How big is it?
It's humanoid size.
Okay.
Seems like they would go to a small creature.
Making sure it wasn't like a dragon heart, because I was like, yo, if we've got a doctor, put that in me right now.
We should see if we can get some of the crew to come up here and help move this and install it. It would look glorious on the front of our ship.
Yes. So would you. You know.
Of course I would. I look glorious everywhere. As he strikes his now patented pose. Finds something to put his foot up on and hands on his hips, puffed out his chest.
You might not want to put your foot on the heart jar.
Yeah, don't do that. Puts a
He
rock
hovers
under
it above the heart jar, then just still trying to hold the pose for a few seconds.
I think
Well-
initially you kind of put it on the heart jar and it shakes a little bit, and you shrink. And
Nice.
the captain is now a gnome.
Oh,
Well, this is a bit of a change.
you're
Oh,
so
by
small.
the way, why- when did all of you get so tall? That's wonderful. We'll be a
Jesus
team
got
of
so
giants.
Oh, man. I thought I'd never see the day. But you know, you're kind of cute that way.
At this
Good
point, he's essentially naked because he's in all this armor that no longer fits.
job. Oh, yeah.
Technically, my armor is magical. I think.
Oh,
Actually, no, it's not. It's just mithril.
damn.
It's just mithril. It's made out of
Damn.
nice stuff.
And so,
Never mind.
what you do see there is there are you didn't notice before, but there's essentially like smaller doors within something that they've moved in here, like almost a changing room.
Mm.
And there's like you open and you see that you can get in. It's made for gnome-sized creatures, as all types of equipment to work on an arcane device. There's arcanist tools.
I'm gonna start just pulling the stuff from that room out while I'm still gnome sized. And he's not bothering to cover himself up either. He's just
Yeah.
What-
So you get that possibly the workers here would shrink and then work on the device.
Like, what the hell are you doing there?
so he's
Captain,
he's
Be
just
wary.
there.
That will not likely last indefinitely. Make sure you're not inside of there when you are going to enlarge again.
Every once in a while he'll go over and just shake the. If he starts to feel anything, he'll go over and shake the jar again.
Why are you? You can just touch it. You're going to damage it.
Well, I mean,
He's
he's mostly just
terrific.
shaking himself with it. Really shaking the moneymaker while he's doing it. Giving y'all a show.
Well, it wasn't what I intended to be seeing today, but I suppose that's something.
I guess winning gnome.
When it-
What a gnome, really? That's the best you could do. A whole row of comedy.
Anansi, how often do you find yourselves in gnomes?
Well, there was this one time.
One time at band camp.
This one time at Blood Reaver camp.
So after I eventually empty out all of the tools and whatever from the gnome room, I'll eventually allow myself to go back to full size. Hopefully.
Yeah, it lasts an hour.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I definitely need to don't need to reshake it. I'm just gonna keep going in and out until everything's out, and then I'll just wait. Not gonna bother putting my clothes on.
So what is he bringing out exactly? Is it just a bunch of random tools?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain, why are you rearranging this room?
Well, I just want to make sure in case any of you can use any of the stuff here. I just figured I'd bring it out to show you.
Yeah, ultimately what you could do, like there's definitely some specific one. You could grab what it would seem to be a mixture of alchemist supplies, wand maker tool, scroll scribe supplies.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab all that stuff. I don't know how to use any of it, but you know, we'll find somebody. We'll find somebody, and they'll figure it out. It's all good.
As He comes back to full size. Belden looks over and says, "You might want to put that away before you scare the horses."
Ah, very well. He does stand there at his full size, just hands on his hips for a few seconds before he puts his clothes back on.
What should we do with that gem? It looks like it can be mounted on the ship.
Mounted on the ship.
Yeah,
It would look glorious.
But
We would need to carry it down to shore so we don't break our ship on land.
Yes. Belden, can you determine what it does?
Well, maybe.
Could we make it gnome size as I point at the jar? We just take the jar and we just bump it up against the crystal here, and it should shrink down to gnome size, and then it should be easy enough for us to carry right out to the ship.
We'll
let
that
it
only
wiggle.
affects creatures.
Not to Airman. This is very sound logic to him.
Did
It's
Eric
like,
grab the
obviously
jar
that would
again and
work.
just
It
put
makes
it against?
It takes big things, makes them small. So you just take the jar, you put it up against the crystal, and boom.
Why don't
Small-
you test your theory
gem.
with one of the tools you've pulled out?
Okay, I'll grabs the
Do not
tool.
smack the jar with the tool, please.
And while he's busy, Belden will go ahead and examine the device.
Oh, so he picks up a tool, and as he's going to touch it, he drops it and tries to catch it. Instead, hits the jar again, and so now he shrinks back down to gnome size.
Jeez. So examine the device. Give me an Arcana check.
23.
Guidance. Unless you already rolled.
23 plus 25.
Um. Look at notes. Do you think this is meant to affix to a ship, and when channeled by a spellcaster with a 5th level or higher spell slot, should be able to essentially hook onto a portal that is within 300 feet and stabilize the portal, but also stabilize the area around the portal, essentially in a straight line that's 50 feet wide.
When you say hook on a portal, so there has to be a portal nearby. And you have to be sailing past it or near it, and then you can get a
Basically straight to it. It's meant to be pointed at the portal.
Right, so it's like a tractor beam for ships into portals?
Yes.
Okay. I'll provide all of that to the crew. I've only really heard about one instance in which a ship went through a portal, but it was like back in the early days of the war to take over the island from the previous bad guy. And by the way, Belton looks around like, there probably are people listening to me. Yeah, this is good enough. But it's exceptionally uncommon to feel the need to sail a ship into a portal at sea. Just very strange.
For the glory of traversing new seas. That's why.
Right. So if you come across a bunch of portals from sea to sea, like fast lanes across the sea, I'd be exceptionally interested in where they are and maybe. Anyways, if it ever comes up, let me know.
You can sail through random portals and wind up on random planes from the astral.
Either way, it would look amazing on our prow.
Okay.
I think that's reason enough to bring it down there.
You do tend to go for shiny things, don't you, Cap?
Well, why not?
He's very
It's
crow-like
beautiful.
in that manner.
Yeah, crows usually do something useful, like build a nest.
We have a nest. It's called the crow's nest. Normally Kraven is up there.
It's very comfortable up there.
Captain, for the 1000th time, it's Craven.
He's not from around here. His pronunciation changes every time you ask him. I think it's a hearing problem, actually.
I have amazing hearing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. What's my name?
I don't think he's
the dwarf thing.
Yes, the dwarf thing. Did he say the dwarf thing? Did he say that?
He has called you Belden before. I'm kidding. I know your name is Belden.
Well, that's one positive.
I pat you on the head. The captain, not Beltman.
Also, technically, I've got 2 magical items of clothing, both my cloak and my boots. So when I shrink down, they shrink with me. So I've still got my cloak and my boots.
But not
Other
the
than that, just
Not the
nothing.
armor.
Captain
Nope.
Underpants over here.
No, there's no underpants.
You don't got
It's
the magic
boots.
underwear on?
Nope. It's boots
that's
and
Briefs of protection.
it is. It's boots, necklace, and cloak. That's it. And weapon. But yeah.
If we're done in here, there are other rooms to explore.
I was thinking the same thing.
This was one of the storerooms, if I'm not mistaken, that Ramune had showed us.
Mhm.
So that's where I would lead us.
Nah, not to the big person, big guy.
Right. Oh, well, the other storeroom is basically anything that's in there has been gone through by the druids and taken of what's interesting.
Yeah.
We never got a chance to go through this first storeroom.
Which
one
first
right here.
storeroom?
This one.
Oh, the one where we walked in and you got us attacked? Yeah.
Yep.
We don't know. It was me. Okay.
You don't know it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Armin's the only one that didn't know it was him.
Hey guys!
Two mechanics.
Guys, I think they spotted one of us.
Hey guys!
Headed to
Nah.
mechanics. If the head is obfuscated, so is the rest of the body.
Hey, come on, man, you're not that oblivious.
No, I just rolled
Or
that
is
bad on
he?
it. Yeah.
We're
Okay,
going
so,
I definitely
uh,
I definitely played off as a lot worse than what my scores
Yeah.
actually are, but
The only
it's
one to mess
fun.
here, I'm revealing it now, would be as far as like storage that's not dangerous according to that would be 7 here.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, down here.
Oh.
Down the center.
I was like, I don't see the 5, 6, but there's nothing else over there. It's back by 3. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, maps can make sense sometimes.
2, 1, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here, there's some things that you see that seem to have been freshly done. One is there's a large amount of energy here that this room is enchanted. There's tons of runes, and I would say from the time here, it seems very specifically to keep out anyone who would have a blood relation to a giant. And in addition to that, it seems like tiefling has been added.
The room we're in currently?
Mm-hmm. The 7,
That's-
number 7.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Oh,
Is anybody not able to get in?
Well, I should be fine.
I've only met a handful of tieflings, but I've never met a giant. I don't think I have.
They don't make for good dinner company. I'm saying that.
No, you've met the captain. He's a giant jackass. And then
Those are
this
separate
weird-
things.
No, he's a gnome right now.
Oh.
That is true. I'm still a gnome. I'm carrying my armor with me, by the way. I just carrying my armor in my pack like as normal, just with my little tiny gnome legs.
If you need someone to help you with that, don't look at
Nope,
me.
I have it. He is sprinting around because he's got little gnome legs now. But yeah,
Okay. Here, there are. It's almost like a showroom. Here, there's pieces that have been collected. There's a wooden crate that contains 15 mithril collars. There's also a small shelf that has 3 carnelian figurines of Triceratops, 3 kyanite figurines of what look like pteranodons, and 3 pyrite figurines of plesiosaur.
Like a nice blue kyanite.
So just so I remember, plesiosaurs are the swimming dinosaurs, right? Like
Yes.
underwater. Okay. That's a very odd mix of strange creatures.
what was the second one?
Pteranodon.
Yep.
The 15 mithril colors, I assume they look magical?
Yes. In addition, there is a polished stone orb that's veined with iridescent crystal that has a glow. It's about 8 inches in diameter.
Is it obvious from its location or placement what it's supposed to be?
No.
Uh,
And then the rest of the room, there are what almost look like more cultural artifacts of that have a distinctly like tribal look to them.
Do we know what tribe it's from, or like what origins it might be?
None of you would have seen something like this. I would say, other than when you're looking at it, they would each occasionally have, each one would have symbolism or inscriptions that would be giant.
Gotcha. I don't know what these are.
I could take some time to try to figure out what they are, but it's gonna take some time. Is it worth it?
I mean, I guess we have all the time right now we need. What is our plan for the morning?
Well, I think for now we should try to haul off the gem, chair, and perhaps anything else. Get them loaded up onto our ship.
Curious to what those collars do.
Me
Perhaps
too.
we should take a few, or all of them.
So, for the record, the ship is still in your pocket, right?
Yes, it is.
Hard to load the ship when it's in your pocket, and I wouldn't want it to be.
So we're
in
gonna need to
here.
go. Yeah, we're gonna need to go down to the dock.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Would you rather know what the colors do, or at least some of these dinosaurs, maybe, or something? We don't really want to tip our hand and show up our ship, do we? Well, these
No.
guys are scuttling the other two.
Well, let's. Perhaps we can, for now, just start. We've got that magical bag, don't you?
Right.
Let's start
back
putting
we
some
go.
stuff. Yeah, let's start packing that magical bag up with stuff. And we can check this. We can figure out what it does later.
All right. Rather than waiting 10 minutes, actually, we're pretty much unlimited on time, right? For now until we sleep.
I guess. Yeah.
More or less, yes.
No.
All right.
Yeah. So I guess. Wait. I guess time wise, I thought it was a lot later in the day.
The option out of character is I can ritual cast identify on those colors pretty quickly, 10 minutes or so. We could be pretty sure of what they do, right?
Oh yeah, I think that should be fine. Just ritual
10
cast on one of the collars,
Okay.
and then if you want to spend another 10 minutes on just
On
like
the
one
orb.
of the dinosaurs, and
The
my guess is
aliens
it'll be
glowing orb is more interesting to me than the dinosaurs are, personally.
okay. Well, it's up to you. I will allow if we've got plenty of time. I'll let you do whatever you want to do here.
Tell you what, how about you guys go down the passageway and keep poking around? I'm going to take a minute or two and figure out what these colors do, and maybe this rock over here, and then I'll just catch up with you. Does that sound reasonable?
Well, yeah. While he's doing that, I actually want to look at the druids and kind of just scope and see what they're doing.
Matt, it was 3 each of the things except T-Rex, right?
I didn't hear
Or did I
T-Rex.
There were
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
T-Rex.
No, that's what I said. 3 each of the other 3.
Well, there was only the 3 types.
Or it was 1 of each.
3 Triceratops, 3 Pteranodon, 3 Plesiosaur.
Okay, yeah.
Correct. So out of the four types of those,
Yeah.
I know you're
Yeah, because I wasn't going to ask you to spell those things out, so I went and found them.
Yes.
No T-Rexes. The only T-Rex that there is when
Belden, the only one we
Yes.
need.
The Beldosaurus Rex.
Yep.
Okay, so Belden, you'd like time on your own to study these?
Well,
That's
it'd
fine.
be helpful to have like maybe 10 or 20 minutes at most, just to be sure I know what I'm looking at. That's all. I'm not trying to waste anybody's time. I'm just trying to be sure. That's all.
Yeah. Spend your 10 minutes. The one collar that you identify here, and they all look the same. Is very specifically designed to make the bearer very susceptible and compliant into the one it's placed on, into itself basically explode in a 10-foot radius, dealing 20 d10 necrotic damage should it be removed. It also enables the person who affixes it to do this from anywhere on the same plane as the necklace as an action.
Hey, I got you a gift there.
Well, son of a bitch, that's impressive.
And ultimately, like once given instructions, the person can resist with wisdom saving throws, but the DC of these collars are 25.
Nice.
And if they fail the roll to resist, they instantly explode, or is it still in the?
If they fail, they just become compliant to the thing.
Okay.
It's as if it is removed, it will explode, or if someone tries to remove it in a somewhat manner.
Does it feel like a charm spell or something else?
It is charmed.
Okay.
It's ultimately charmed.
What was the radius on that explosion?
10 foot.
10 foot.
And it's and the person becomes compliant to whoever affixed the collar.
Yeah, they're basically under control of whoever fixed it, though they don't have to be under direct. It's as though it's basically charmed, and they would begin to do what they need to do.
And there's no.
But they retain a lot of their own abilities in order to accomplish the task.
And there's no way to remove the collar without it exploding, even if it's the person that affixed it.
Not innately to the thing.
Oh, okay.
So, like, some significant, like, dispel or something might actually do it.
Very specifically, if dispel magic is cast at it, it is programmed to explode.
Jesus.
So, some other. Yeah, if it's ever going to be removed, it's going to be some wicked magic we haven't seen yet.
An anti-magic aura would make it safe to remove.
Hey, Ramune! What's that big eye of yours do?
Oh, it's actually, never mind. We never actually went back to see Ramune, so I'm like, do I turn back to normal size if he looks at me?
Cool.
We'll talk to him.
Tremendously helpful. And then the 8-inch glowing stone orb.
Okay. This is of immense power. This is known as an orb of Scorius. It has divine power flowing within it. It seems to be a very powerful item. When attuned, and it requires a spellcaster to attune, it works as a focus, but it also has 3 charges that you can use to replace spell components, up to 300 gold pieces per charge. You would also gain a +2 bonus to Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
+2 bonus, you said, to con?
Yeah, for concentration checks.
Okay.
And it allows the person to see in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet.
Cool. Is it obvious why it's here, or is this just like a random powerful item that was found or placed in this particular alcove for no reason?
From identify, this seems to be of giant design.
Okay.
And this is a protective thing against giants. Giants can't scry on this. Seems a lot like someone stole some very valuable things from giants.
Cool.
And they've been housing them here.
Would the collars expand or contract based on the size of the thing they were applied to?
Yes.
We need to find a giant expert. Maybe they would know who these come from.
Yeah.
Imagine having giants
Applying
on the
the
side.
collar automatically succeeds on a incapacitated creature. Otherwise, it automatically succeeds if you're grappling a creature.
Damn.
It almost looks like the mithril would liquefy and wrap around.
What if we put these on the druids? I mean, if things got out of order, of course.
Well,
What?
they're damn powerful.
Be careful with what you say. They've openly stated to us that they act as flies on the wall.
I said it very whisperingly, you know.
That will make a difference, probably. So who has a bag of holding at this point?
Kaz.
Cass, would you mind holding a couple things for me? That'd be super useful. So I would like to at least provide the stone and all 15 of those collars in the bag. Let's see what else. What else? What else? The dice works I cared less about. Tribal artifacts. Yeah, that's probably good enough. So in like 20 minutes, I'll call that good and go join the rest of the group.
What would y'all like to do?
Well, I guess honestly, we could all use a break if we're done picking up stones and turning things over.
Are there other places we want to touch upon before we decide to take a nap?
Yes, I'd like to examine the automatons we fought on entering. There's potentially some equipment that we can manufacture back onto the ship or attach to the ship, potentially. Captain, where are those tools you brought out?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get whatever's left of them onto the ship for further study, that's fine. You just have to get your ship out.
Yeah.
So, and I think definitely coming towards the end of the day at this point. I think from looking at these items, going through, it took a good amount of time to find these rooms and to open them up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just sort of the kind of spoils. Because any of the ones that they kind of cleared, I guess I think you didn't get immediately from rooms that were cleared. They've kind of started to go in.
Yeah.
Things like supplies, there's all types of those types of things, but.
Just making sure to grab the chair for the captain.
You get the chair.
Yep, we're getting the chair, we're getting the gem.
And then I just wanted to get the automatons, I guess, back onto the ship to potentially see if we can't take some of their inner workings and apply them to the invisible stalker. Or if we can't, then maybe go back to Peaches at some point to get them to attach them.
Sure.
Also, does Ramune join us on the did we ever get an answer from Ramune if he's going to join us on the ship?
I don't remember you inviting him. You invited him?
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check. With advantage. He hasn't had a good life.
Jesus.
Alright. With a +9. So 26.
Solid.
Yes, he will. Yes, I will come.
Can you squeeze his ass through the hallways or no?
Taking time, he can get his big old head body through.
Do we need to bring the jar to shrink him down to get through the hallways?
Theoretically, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, let's do that. Here, just don't look at it.
Well, here's a better question: does his eye function like classic beholders?
No.
Okay.
But similar. He has a bonus action he can use to end a spell or spell effect immediately on someone that's within a 150-foot cone of his eye.
Nice.
Basically projects the cone of energy, and then any creature in that cone that's affected by your spell, the spell's effects end immediately, instantly.
Oh, so it's just like a mass dispel.
Yeah,
That's
with
awesome.
with no roll. It's
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he definitely sounds like something a friend that would be worth having.
Yeah,
I was like,
but
phrase your statement carefully there, Captain.
but very so which actually means that he would explode the mithril things because he wouldn't project the anti-magic field.
Oh.
He would explode the mithril bracelets if he did that.
But yeah, no. So we'll go ahead and just give him the heart in a jar, so he can just be shrunk down, and he's just a mini beholder floating around with us.
No, he doesn't shrink him down. It turns him into a gnome.
Oh, well,
You don't-
hey.
Like, you don't become the size of a gnome. You are a gnome.
Okay. Okay.
I did not realize that's what it meant. You even said it.
Yeah, it didn't click.
Register.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
that's convenient at least.
Well, like,
going to town
so-
would be less awkward.
Okay, so before we give it to him, be like, hey, if you want, you can stay as yourself, or you can touch this, and for an hour, you'll be a gnome.
It's convenient, actually.
Nice.
He actually really
All
loves this
nice.
because he kind of became this form against his will.
Yeah.
So he's very much like,
Yeah,
hey!
that is yours, man. That's all you, Ramune.
Though that is a hack of a stealth beholder kid. I
So
am a
wait,
gnome.
if each of his little eyes touch it, do they each become individual gnomes? And then he just controls like this little army of gnomes.
I would say they become part of his form, so he doesn't get
Oh.
access to them
Okay.
when he's
That
a
would've been
gnome.
hysterical. He just has
And
his
it
own
changes
little
his
thieves
creature
guild.
type to gnome, and those are about him being an overmind. So he changes.
That would have been hysterical if it did. And he just he's
Uh.
just his own little thieves guild.
Oh, that'd have been great. Either way, this is still pretty cool. We got he looks like a gnome. Is actually a beholder. I definitely make sure we go back and grab, because I completely emptied that room, so I'm assuming there's some like gnome clothes in there as well. Gnome sized clothes for him, so he's not just walking around in the
You got it.
birthday suit.
Come
I
on,
mean-
gnomes have no shame.
I mean, Airman had no shame, but you know, he's Airman. He doesn't realize he should have shame.
I remember Tonk having some shame.
Really? When it came to Big Office, you sure?
Yeah, so to get that stuff back on the ship, I'm hoping that none of the druids are just spying on us currently, but I have to say the magic words, so I quietly whisper "druids suck" to get the ship to come back out.
Amazing. Give me a stealth check.
25.
Yeah, for the heck of this, I'll give you his stat block here. He's now on your ship. in the handouts.
That's awesome.
Overmind. Dope. He's an artillery type. What the hell? What does that even mean?
Yes.
Oh, Christ.
It means I've been pulling out the big guns for some of my campaigns lately. No, just some ones that try to help DMs a little more. Like they
They classify it as guns? That's
Well,
hysterical.
yeah, they classify them like there's artillery, there's support, there's
Gotcha.
solo, there's all these different types, and so the whole idea is that it helps you balance something, a controller, so you can kind of make something like, oh, cool, I've got some skirmishers.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense now.
And the people who've done this actually gone through the original monster manual and like added these tags to help you understand what even the designers were thinking when they made them.
Gotcha. That's cool.
So it's just like a way to help, another tool set to balance and make interesting encounters.
Okay, so he is awesome. Oh, that's great.
Belden, time to put you to work.
Yeah, what is it this time? Need something translated or transcribed or transmutated? And all the translates.
What do all these weapons we found do?
Good question.
All right. So these weapons, they all in a just anybody's hands will function as a +1 of their type. However, these do seem to be linked to bloodlines or prophecies. There's hidden power that you're unable to understand through an identify spell. They're like sleeping weapons, and it's as if they have never fully realized what they were meant to be.
Ooh. Interesting.
So in the right hands, they would actually probably should have had it, right?
Yeah, they would
So-
awaken and have other powers.
So identify with the right person holding them would be totally different from like just blind identify.
Yeah. However, well, they are +1. They actually do each have something else they can do with anybody. You can actually get this going here. And I'll just go ahead and do this since I was meaning to. I'll just rely on Jonathan to give me the weapon, and I'll get its other thing in here. But give me a moment to do so. Let me get my information here.
So tied to a bloodline, do we think if we cut ourselves and press it, like that's how it would recognize, or it just innately recognizes?
It was
the
just
bloodline
innately recognized if it
from
was the
okay.
right wielder. And like bloodline is like, even then, it's like it's some type of prophesied or specific person or person who meets specific criteria.
Gotcha.
Though they are very that very purposely is hidden by the identify spell a little bit.
Mm-hmm. We play hot potato real quick, see if anything awakens. Just in case.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
It's all the weapon types are all like off kilter to what we normally use, so we have to learn how to adapt to them.
None of us are proficient with the weapon that it says.
It's prick the prick.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, Jonathan. Actually, yeah. Name one of these for me, please.
Like, give it a name, or
No, like
or name one of the types that you gave us.
one of the types that I gave.
There was a katana.
Okay, so we'll say it's katana.
Yeah, and that was the dragon one.
Okay.
Yeah, let me find the little description thing that I had.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll start with the katana here. That's kind of where I'm going. So, give me a sec. Here we go. Just get the dice out here.
White stone, yeah, dragon.
Perfect. So the katana, currently, can create a snowball.
That's helpful.
The coral shafted spear with tooth blade.
The wrong die here. What's going on? Specifically, that I can cover surface with a sweet slippery material resembling fruit jelly, therefore making the grease spell.
Ooh, does it burn sweet? That's the scent.
Next, we've got the bladed knuckles.
Okay. Whoever wields that can squeeze through spaces 1 inch in diameter.
Oh.
Then the nunchucks.
Chucks here. Creates an illusion around the bearer to make them look like a werewolf in anthropomorphic form.
Kinky.
Then the longsword.
Yes. Can be used in an action to quickly butcher any livestock-sized corpse. Divide it into paper-wrapped parcels sorted by various primal cuts.
Pragmatic.
You said they're wrapped already?
Yeah, wrapped in paper, right, ready to go.
That
And then the
is-
final one is the crease knife.
Ah. Curse knife, when touched to another magic item, renders that item powerless.
Ooh.
And the curse knife gains all the properties of that item. This lasts for 1 hour.
Okay.
Wild.
So some of these have pretty cool effects, and then I've got one that makes a snowball.
Well, because those were all effects that can be achieved even without the bloodline.
Yeah, I
user
know.
Doing it.
But I mean, like you got one that makes the floor filled with jelly, which is hilarious. You got very useful of you can go through a hole 1 inch in diameter. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The
Very-
swapping
very
of magical
plasmoid.
stuff. Yeah, the swapping of magical abilities from one item onto that knife is pretty cool.
Yeah, all I say is the identify would not pick up curses or negative effects at this point.
Yeah. So we're gonna just play hot potato real quick and see if anything happens.
Are any of us destined for any of these weapons?
There's no lightning in the sky or anything like that. But I will say, like, because what I never let you know is that even the one destins, like, they would tend to be upon even person meant to weird them achieving something.
Gotcha.
So it could be like killing somebody they hate. It could be killing somebody they love. It could be, it could be several different things. It's just hard to quite know what that is.
Is there any sort of markings on any of them that might indicate which bloodline any of these might be for?
I would say a way to do that would be weeks of study trying to figure out stuff with the, like, what the if you have access to all her books, it is likely it's going to be prophecies and those things. Not necessarily done, but it would take time to figure some of this out.
Gotcha.
Well, we did take a bunch of stuff from their research stuff. So
yeah, you might have the stuff you need.
The anthropomorphic form that's like in their middle stage where they're like humanoid wolf
Yeah.
form. Okay.
Yeah, Krynos for those in the apocalypse world. Which is what I want to say all the time. But that not being an actual like word is like really frustrating.
That's fine.
I also prefer Therianthrope for all the different were types, because that's the more generalized term where were is actually specifically wolf.
I thought it was human.
All right. Anything else before we'd want to go ahead and hit break?
No, I'm good. We got the automatons on board. We've set up the chair for the captain, though it's likely not yet bolted it in. So yeah, I'm
Sounds good.
set to rest.
All right. Go to break, and we will see everybody then.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Okay, let's get back here.
Aiden was EB. He's not coming back.
What happened with him?
He was falling asleep at his desk, so he was
Oh.
calling it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Fair enough. It is later than normal. This is art. We're closer to Glen time. Music is too calming.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But it's fun. This campaign over a few others has a lot. Occasionally has things like this where we're like, let's get everything straight. What's all the loot? What's these? Always funny when you do these little things.
We like to be precise with what we have, man.
Also,
I'm good with
that.
that.
Like, every discovery can make a big difference in this game.
Yeah.
Right, so pre-break, we pretty much exhausted all of our options. We're gonna go for a long rest or no?
I am fine with that.
Cool.
Um,
Do we want to each take a shift of watch?
No.
did you say no?
So, when all of the back and forth is done, Belden stops for a second, looks at the log view, and says, "I feel like this is not exactly a safe place to take a nap. Would you guys mind if I did a little something special, perhaps?"
What do you have in mind?
I would send him, actually. I'd like to create a little spot where, we can't really be stumbled across or discovered for the night, at least for the next, couple of hours.
Well, you have the ship up, right?
Do we have the ship up? Yeah.
Yeah, we had to
Right.
get the automatons and stuff.
So we could just leave on the ship.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured that's what the plan was.
Choice is yours. I mean, we're still a target, so we still need to watch it if we are on the ship. But that's fine.
Hence the watches.
No, you're fine. This is fine. This is all fine.
We could, since the people inside the bottle aren't actually disturbed, the person that's on watch could bring the ship back out, wake the next person, they go on, they shrink the ship back down.
Pretty weird.
Okay. Yeah, really interesting. By the way, I was looking. You said that so the dinosaurs they talk about are in the monster manual, but possibly because D&D Beyond's doing his D&D Beyond thing, only on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, so the links actually followed for the Monsters Band didn't have, so it must be the wrong version of the Monsters Manual.
Because they're also in the basic rules,
Oh,
and they're in the monster manual.
Right. Probably just bad links.
Yeah, that could be true. Because I didn't go by the link. I went by going into monster manual and D for dinosaur, and going to the dinosaurs.
Dinosaur kids.
But okay, go ahead. Sorry, I just was like trying to.
I was debating going back for the dinosaur figurines, which won't cost us anything.
You grabbed them, yeah.
Oh, yep.
So, Ramune is now a part of the crew, and he has a proficiency bonus of 4. So he's got 4 things, and we could appoint him to one of the things, a station on this.
My God.
Yes, you can give them ranks.
Yeah.
Well, when he completes a journey, you can train him in one level of rank.
Aww.
So you can begin to make a beholder crewmate or an overmind crewmate, as the case may be.
Okay.
But currently, he's an adversary, so he does not come with rank.
Oh,
Damn it.
I guess he's not familiar. That makes sense.
Ryan's out here trying to game.
You're the worst.
Well,
Right,
the
playing
thing that stuck
game.
to me was the fact that
He's like, I'm the captain. I can appoint whoever I want.
he doesn't have any ranks in it, but I can appoint him something if I want.
Yeah, you can. We need a cook. He'd be a mean cook.
I see.
But no,
Honestly,
that-
because it says artillery next to his name, the first thing I thought was Master Gunner.
oh yeah, I mean yeah, but someone's still gonna have to roll for him. That's the most.
Yeah.
That or just an actual bosun would be, because
We don't
that's
got a
kind of
bosun?
just a bosun is just a basic,
No, I
essentially
know.
shipmate. So
Yeah, I know, but I'm just. We don't have one.
Just make sure
I
it's
mean-
something that he doesn't need to have hands to do.
Oh, Kaz was
Bosons are
bosun.
good though to have.
Oh, Kaz was bosun.
so both me and Kaz have a rank or
Okay.
two in bosun. Like I've got 1 rank of bosun and 3 ranks of captain,
All right.
and I think he took a level in bosun as well. I think some of us did all in our dedicated one, and then others
Yeah, I
split
did.
them.
Yeah, I did 3 and 1 as well.
Yeah.
All right.
And Will, you split yours as well too, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's through one. Surgeon and cook, maybe?
Yeah.
I was full first mate because I didn't think about splitting.
Yeah. Definitely are.
All right, so who wants first watch?
Oh, well, I don't really need to sleep, so
I'm sorry, what?
I'll go first watch.
But no, don't try to skate past it now. What do you mean you don't need to sleep?
You say you don't need to sleep.
We've been
What is
traveling
that?
for weeks together. We would know this. It would have come
Yeah.
up.
I mean, out of character, I haven't used something that would probably give you away for whatever you are. I just haven't yet, because I haven't in character. He hasn't had a reason to. And that's my divine sense, which does the fiend, fey, undead.
I'm kidding. I'm,
celestial.
kidding. I'm not undead. I do need to sleep. I just don't need to eat.
I see.
Whatever. Anyway, you do, just not normal food. You're on a liquid diet.
Yeah. It's not that type of affliction. It is an affliction, unfortunately, due to the vampiric nature.
Is it a disease? Do you have
Somewhat.
a disease? Because I could heal you of a disease.
It's not. Fortunately, it's not something you can do.
Are you sure? I can cure a disease. If it's a disease, I can cure a disease.
You are very, very powerful, and I've seen you take many great naps, but unfortunately, this is just something outside of the realm of your control.
Anyway, so Anansi has the first watch. I'll take the second watch.
I'll take last then.
Yeah, then any
Or if Belden wanted last to start the breakfast.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. That's
I'd
fine.
say the ships are scuttled, and so the ship's scuttled. I think the day goes by, then I would go by basically without too much issue. It would be to any of you, if you want any watch conversations, you can just do that as you would wish.
Oh, yeah. If anyone wants to stay up with me, they can. I don't know if anyone did, but otherwise, I'm just taking some of the blood that I've gathered today and putting them into little cartridges for the like repeater rifle that I have. I do take what seems like a capsule of one.
Are you taking a capricin of blood?
Basically.
Man.
When Airman comes out to relieve you, he comes out and it looks like he did sleep, just maybe not the greatest. Like he's got some bags underneath his eyes, but he's trying to put it off like he was just fine. I don't see time for you to head to sleep. I've got this.
You have something bothering you in your sleep at all?
Nope, I'm good. Just
I'm
good.
Do I see anything in his face that might tell me otherwise?
What's your insight?
I mean, it's a +9, but
so passive 19. Yeah,
yeah.
You can tell that. It like I said, it looks very much like he didn't sleep the greatest, but he is still putting up that good front, and he kind of like he doesn't want to talk about it, but it's something you noticed.
Gotcha. Well, don't let the birds get you too much.
I'll keep a sharp eye out for them. And he immediately starts looking up.
And I'll take my leave and go to sleep.
All right.
I'd probably get up because I forgot I'm an elf. I get to trance, baby. So I just get up and tell the captain, go to bed.
Fine. I can finish my watch. He's been looking up the entire time. Like you come out and he's still looking up. He's watching specifically just for birds.
Captain, your watch is over. And
Nope,
I stab him in the heart. Your watch is ended. Got your ass. I'm the captain now. No, but Captain, you're going to have a crick in your neck if you've been...
Nope, I will be fine.
Captain,
and he finishes. He goes to when his watch would end, and then he.
That's when I came. I came exactly on time.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you came out early.
No.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, all right. Remember, Anansi said to watch out for the birds, so keep an eye out for them. I don't know what they might be doing, but you should be keeping an eye out for them. I'll see you in the morning.
And I will go up to Crow's Nest 2, because that's where the perception bonus is. And I'll take my watch from there. Waking Belden when the time comes. And since I'm rested already, because trance, baby, Belden, what do you make of those collars? What kind of organization would want to do something like that, have that kind of control over someone?
It's obviously an enslavement, and the compliance aspect of it is exceptionally helpful to get people to come along with you when they probably shouldn't. And then the death threat of your actual neck exploding is pretty impressive by itself, especially after you see one try to take off the collar and then show up or disappear in a bloody red mist. It's pretty impressive. If you're going for the most ruthless version of slavery, that's pretty hardcore.
And prior to this mission, had you heard of the League?
Yeah, but like rumors, right? Like you don't become a wizard along the islands and not hear something about the trade routes and some of the strange sorts of critters that occupy them, especially some of the honored traders, which seem to have like large amounts of metal, odd numbers of people on ships. It's a thing you hear about from time to time. We mostly avoid them. You heard what Professor Orb said, right? They've been here for a while and just slowly expanded their territory, became more powerful over time. But they've been here for at least the last 100 years or more.
Yes. Where did you come across Professor Orb? That seems like such a useful tool.
Well, funny story that I spent a lot of time on the northern tip of the island, and I kind of waxed and waned between wanting to be out in the woods and maybe be one of the animals, and then like I get bored and I come back to civilization, and then sometimes I jump from isle to isle. Just there's a bunch of like long history of wandering. Dwarves live for a long time, and I'm exceptionally solitary. But I came across this ruin one time. Anyhow, I found Professor Orb in a ruin that I couldn't explain. It looked like a blown up old wizard's tower, and it looked like something just lost amongst the rocks. And once I picked him up and asked him his name, he was very amicable. So we're lucky he's from this part of the world, the coast at least, because he has lots of knowledge of the local area, but he probably wasn't out of his last master's control for more than 4 or 5 years. He's pretty fresh.
I see.
You see, these things are actually repositories of knowledge. They learn for themselves and they observe the things around them. They're probably passively observing all the things that we've done. So when we're dead, the next person that picks up Professor Orb probably have a pretty good understanding of where we went and what we saw. They're like some kind of weird, like, memory contraption.
It's certainly useful.
Exceptionally.
And what do you make of these blood-bonded weapons that they're looking for specific people or specific actions to be taken? It sounds like the weapons of stories, the vestiges, and the arms of betrayers.
Interesting idea. So the theory was that the vestiges and arms of betrayers were created by the gods for specific avatars or persons to occupy that space in history, right? It's like asking someone to take their role amongst the greater script. What's the word here? That's really hard to do in common. Their spot in the annals or the scripture of history, right? But having the weapons and not having the blood would suggest that you're either collecting the blood to meet the weapons, or you built the weapons to meet the blood, or maybe the weapons could have existed before. You're looking for the. Anyways, it's an odd thing to have one and not both. From my particular perspective, the idea that we came across weapons that are blood attuned, but we don't know who they're attuned to, suggests either there's movement in the spheres of the gods, and they're moving things chess pieces across the board, or that these things are somehow attracted to each other. It's a very odd sort of a thing to think that the bloodlines and the weapons are supposed to just come together serendipitously. Does that make sense or pure ramble?
No, that made sense. What did you make of Kaz's family heirloom? Did you know of his relation to Master
Jajal? It wasn't obvious until he tried to scratch out the mark on the board, actually. And then it became very obvious.
And do you feel his weapon is similarly blood-tied?
Well, so Jajal, at least according to legend, had this weird whip for a while. It was like some very odd dedication to some dark god. I'm not entirely sure. But he also apparently had weird smells sometimes and changed color sometimes. So Jajal has a historical thing, according to the annals at least, on set. He's very mercurial. He changes a lot. Kaz, I don't see the connection. I mean, I see the obvious connection, but I don't put 2 and 2 together and get less than 5. They might be distant relatives, but I don't see the click quite yet. What am I missing?
Did you get a chance to identify that sword in particular, or did he not hand it over at the time?
He did not. We were quite busy at the time. But given the chance, I would definitely try.
What were you thinking for breakfast?
My original thought was the classic slightly scorched like cornbread cakes, maybe a little bit of a rasher of bacon, perhaps, to get everybody's spirits up because it's always good for morale. I'm a big fan of gruit or even oatmeal for that matter. I prefer more of a hearty breakfast for the average sailor going into battle. It's a philosophy.
Understandable. What do you think the conversation? How do you think the conversation with the druids will go?
We haven't been that precise in our wording so far, so they may have caught on to a couple things. And again, a fly is a fly. You never know where it is, where it's going. I think the question is going to be about shared ground versus divided ground. Wipe out this particular infection of bad ideas. But this may be where we part company. So it may get kind of violent. Also, there are past sins to atone for, or at least explain. I don't think she can explain them.
Do you think she's here?
Unlikely, but possible. I think the voice we've heard is probably the highest of the lot, but I could be wrong. If it were me, if it were me or her boss, her mentor, perhaps, I wouldn't physically be here if it didn't have to be.
I believe I'm of the same opinion that she would not be here.
Or if she is, she made a mistake and she'll possibly even pay for it. We'll see. But that requires a lot of precision and effort to make sure that justice is actually done. I feel like if we brought that person back, in chains and stocks and some kind of device, those collars are exceptional, perhaps in that respect.
I'd be loath to use one of those unless we found the.
Hypothetically, if we brought them back to the stocks in public, in a place where they can be punished, all the outcomes are terrible, right? Nobody actually wins.
Without finding whatever key truly unlocks them, I'd be loath to use them at any point.
Fair. But if you had your perfect world, and you could bring this person in front of justice, whoever that is, what it looks like, what are the outcomes? What retribution or vindication can be derived from this moment in time? Or is it just bloodlust?
I think it's far too early to be having that kind of conversation at this point, seeing as we don't even know if that's an outcome that is possible as of yet.
More than reasonable. I spent too much time in the woods, perhaps.
And I would just watch you just prepare breakfast when the time comes, kind of allowing you to do that while I maintain the watch.
You'll notice that Belden mostly prefers to cook with his hands and like be very much visually in touch with the work. But occasionally, when the pot's too far away and his little arms are not long enough, he'll mage hand something over to him.
So Anansi doesn't have to eat, but does he eat bacon?
I mean, he'll eat. Like he gets the pleasure. He has taste buds. He'll enjoy food. Not really a big sweet guy, but umami flavor for sure.
Bacon fat in particular has a certain caramelized something to it.
So, just to clarify, we did get the long rest.
Yes.
Okay.
And to respect his spells. Oh, spellbook. We should talk.
I should probably take away those temp HP.
When you long rest, it automatically takes it away.
It didn't take it away
Yeah.
from me for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
Or maybe I didn't click.
Did you not
long rest.
confirm?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Don't want. Maybe.
Yeah, those of you that prepare spells, swap them out now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whole lot of that.
For a potential conflict with druids.
Who wants to talk to dead people?
I mean, it's useful when you're not actually dying yourself.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
I chose some really bad spells in fact. Shit balls. I like it, love it, don't hate it. Okay.
Yeah.
This will suck.
Once everybody's eating breakfast, I go through the process of casting water breathing on us, as I do every morning, to make sure that we can all breathe should we end up in the water. And I do that, as many times as necessary to cover the entirety of the crew as well.
I appreciate that. It may be wasted on me, in fact. But for yourself, please. Best guess, and again, this is not knowing it very well. The manual of clay golems I picked up. How long would it take to actually learn that? It's 30 days plus like 65,000 gold, 8 hours a day. Like basically, in order to do this once, I have one clay golem. It's going to take like a month and a shit ton of money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Effectively.
But a lot of that can be done on the ship.
Okay.
Like I would say 2 legs. You could probably get
cool.
it done.
No arms, no head, no testicles.
A 2 journey legs, so that would be essentially.
Okay. All right. If I had the okay.
Are there any particularly rare materials that you need for that?
No, just a lot of money, right? Money and time.
A ton of supply money. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, because you would have had access to this place, you could definitely you can exchange this for money, but you would be able to have I would say 10,000 gold worth of supplies to make look at clay golem.
Cool.
Nice.
It's to meet its requirements.
So anybody wandering past Belden's room will notice he's got a bunch of books up, some on the wall, some all over the place. Like he's got a bunch of spell books he's collected, laid out, strewn out. He's copying a bunch of notes and trying to figure out all these ins and outs. It'll take forever to get there, but he's already working on it.
Belden, the research will have to wait. We have to go have conversations with
Well, I understand.
Come on.
It's about filling in the time in between, and we seem to have it, right? So I'm not willing to waste lost half-hour blocks without getting some kind of value. Anyways, I've been doing this for 240 years. It's going to take a few more.
Captain.
He comes out. Anybody with a passive insight of over 15 notices he's got some bags underneath his eyes, but he still coming out there, putting on a good front. Good morning, crew.
Hey, do you need some coffee or something, or maybe a healing
No,
stone?
I'm wonderful.
You don't seem to be fully tip-top shape at the moment.
I'm great.
I think I noticed the bags, but don't necessarily put together why you would have them. Like, if it's a internal strife about something that happened, But I just know that I can visibly see that you
Yeah.
didn't sleep well,
Yeah.
just based on my perception.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of just in general what I'm going for here. He's just very much just putting on the front that he's 100% little stressed out. Being captain's a little bit more than he thought it would be.
More work.
Died,
A little more
came
stressful.
back,
Yeah. But
was
he's
yo-yoing a little bit.
Yeah, but he is very much acting like it's nothing and just pushing forward.
Captain, I need to remind you not to give away who we are or who we work for as we come to these conversations with Kaman and potentially Varithia, as we have not yet determined if she is here on the island.
All right. That seems like a wise course of action.
Captain, would you like a little invigoration, perhaps? I've got good coffee, good tea in the rudders. I've also got this really amazing bacon broth, which always works for me.
What do we have? What sort of delicious breakfast have you prepared for us, Sheldon?
I mean, it's mostly cornbread cakes, which are delicious. And, we'll stick with the belly for hours. You could definitely fight a 6-hour battle without having to take a shit.
Are they
also
actually
bacon.
delicious, or are they just nutritional?
Well, they're both. They're heavily salted. I use a lot of pork fat in basically everything. Yeah, it works out pretty.
He asked that out. I'm asking this out of
jeez.
character.
No, they're actually seriously hearty, holy crap, energy packed cornbread, and if you want to talk
they
about
actually do taste
lard as a
Yum yum.
Okay.
I'm going to steal, and by steal, just take 2 of those collars. By the way, just in case, you never know.
From whom? They're in the back.
Oh,
In the bag of holding.
in the bag of holding. I'll go in there.
Can you get there without being seen? Stop communicating.
Is it on your back?
I think
It's on Kaz's back.
Kaz has the bag of holding.
Yeah, it's in Kaz's bag of holding.
Belden's very concerned about those things, so he might be just keep an eye.
As am I.
We might need to, just
Pass
out of
percep
character.
18.
just get the druids in there. But I'm not shy about it. I'll go Kaz, let me see your backpack.
Wait a second. Non, I don't mean to be a pest. Actually, I am a pest, but I'm pretending not to be for a minute. Why do you have interest in those particular things? They are inherently very dangerous and not a good idea. If you show up with those in your hands and you walk up to a druid, the primary response should be to blast you all to hell.
Well, I'm not just gonna hold my hands out with them.
I'm not saying you're unsubtle. I'm saying it's a bad idea.
As of right now, we are allies with the druids. It would be foolish to give up that position without first having further details.
Fine. I'll strap the backpack back up.
But just to be clear, this is not chastisement per se. It just seems exceptionally unwise dealing with a people whose primary goal is freedom and going back to nature. Anything like slavery is going to piss them off pretty hard.
Yes, I'm something just about those just makes my
Rubs you the
insides
wrong
itch.
way?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be normal. That means you have a soul, typically.
Well, just in general. I mean, I kind of get a similar feeling with, when I see manacles.
Right. Same concept.
I feel like, I don't know. While they are trustworthy now, they're also looking to save their own ass.
For sure. And that paranoia is appreciated, but give them the chance to fuck up first, I guess. My pragmatic answer.
If we had the key to release them, I'd be more open to it. But seeing as we have yet to find that, this is essentially just a death sentence.
Mhm.
Fair.
And seeing as it's specifically coded that even trying to dispel the magic causes the explosion, we have no ways to go about removing them. Shit. Matt, you know who can remove these without having to dispel? Thea, with her benign dismemberment.
Wouldn't the beholder be able to, too?
No,
It's true.
because he essentially just casts Dispel Magic, not.
Yeah, so it's not the full anti-magic field.
Yep. Because he's not technically a beholder.
Got it.
Well, if everyone's done with breakfast, we should be off.
Don't forget to clean your plates, or fuck it, I'll fix it. Captain, do you want to like say a prayer or something, or some kind of like
If
beatific?
anybody, I say my prayer in the morning. If all of you want to participate, I can say one for the crew. But
Well, I was just saying, like, there are religions that I've heard about that prefer to bless the table or the meal so we all feel better all day instead of like, hey guys, good luck, don't die.
are you trying to get me to cast a spell
No,
out of character?
No.
Okay.
Okay, no.
But it's, I mean,
He's haranguing you because he thinks maybe that helps. I don't know.
if you wish, Belden, I can say a prayer. But it's
Well,
I believe that a person's faith is just that, their own. I believe you have the freedom to say the prayer to whichever god you wish to pray to, but I will not press my beliefs upon you. Because my beliefs are that you should be free to choose and do what you wish.
well, that was unhelpful. I was kind of hoping for a hookup. I don't believe in shit, but I can definitely use some help here.
Well, whether you believe or not, I believe that there is some God watching over all of us.
That's fair. I believe there
I'm
is
not
a
sure. I'm not sure which is watching over you, but I'm sure they are watching closely.
I mean, hopefully not too closely. That gets awkward.
I mean, they do give you your private moments, but in times of need, I'm sure one or more possibly, who knows, will have taken a liking to you.
I believe the gods have better things to do than to watch us empty our bowels.
Yes.
I prefer the term defecate, but yeah, same.
Speaking of defecating, are you ready to talk to these druids?
I don't know what that
I
has to do with defecating.
I don't see the correlation between those two things, but yes, we should go.
And
we make
we're
our way
off.
back.
Yep.
To Kaman. Or potentially Varithia if she's shown up in the night.
Right. So Spores have been divided. There has been many things that they have taken. I would say some have woken up as far as the so specifically 10 of patients were able to be disconnected, and of those 10 have awoken. Still not precisely sure who they are. They seem to be suffering from a type of amnesia. even though they're in the waters briefly, it's still they're still having issues. They seem to have flashes of personality recognition and then none. I would say, as they talk to you here, goes, I would ask if you are willing to take half of them. That would help. If we can't get rid of these crystals, we should vacate the island. Take those survivors, take everything we can from here. It's not safe for our people. We will leave. I believe we have some seeds and animals we think we can cover the crystals with and disconnect and, well, get out. Would at least keep this island somewhat protected.
Well, so if you look at the previous ships, they actually had containers that got destroyed by the process of holding those crystals. So if you think your leaves or seeds or whatever is able to constrain that, I'd be impressed. Have you tested it?
Not to constrain, but rather to protect.
From in or out?
Those out, we see that they mutate, they change things.
Right.
We would hope if we leave enough raw material around.
To be changed?
That the island itself would be protected by this strange mineral.
And then once you move it out of here, what happens to it?
We don't want to move it out.
Just
We don't know how
protected
to.
by something it can evolve or modify. It doesn't hurt you at the moment.
Yes, and we'll get out. That way, at least, if the League comes back, they will have things to contend with.
So in 100 years, again, thinking a little bit longer term, in 100 years, this place will be totally overgrown and complete chaos. But not your problem, right?
That would be preferable.
I see your point of view.
Besides the lady and her chosen, this island is uninhabited. Is that correct?
What we can tell, what we've seen. We're willing to bring any of the chosen that are suitable. We have a place we can go with them. And of course, you're free to aid them if you wish.
May I ask where you plan to go that you feel is safe from the League?
Our people are keepers of the seas, of that mix that makes it worthwhile. We have a place that is safe for us, that we go when our chaos has been spread. Turning this into a fountain of chaos would be quite good for this.
I probably look slightly visibly irritated.
We had came originally to recruit these well-trained people, but they are nothing like they were. There's not assets at all. But if we can make an island of chaotic, return the seas to what they're meant to be, this can be of great help.
Well, just remind me for a hot minute, what are they meant to be?
Seas are places of refinement and danger, meant to sharpen and kill.
How is it different from what the lady wanted? She wanted to effectively push together the best of the breed she could find. And when they squared off, she would find the strongest of the strong, right? Isn't that the same thing?
Potentially.
Oh.
We do not view her as a villain. It was actually quite sad that she perished.
I feel like the League feels the same way, but more about civilizations, or I hate to use the word businesses versus people. It's the same basic philosophy, isn't it?
I think so. The League wishes order. We think order is the death of the world.
But the League actively cultivates chaos to create openings for work. Doesn't that serve you?
I'm not aware that the League would do this.
I
They
mean,
seem mostly to fix and to uplift and make society predictable and ordered.
they definitely have tried to create their own chaos in the meantime. Take advantage of the openings. What's the word? The vacuum. That's the word. They like the vacuum because it allows them to turn helpful chaos into their order. And
From what I've seen of their stuff, they show up where chaos has been caused, where we've done work, and try to undo our blessed.
If your circle is mostly concerned with the chaos of the sea, why do you care what happens on the land masses?
We don't overly. The islands are part of the sea, the shorelines are what influence, and we... You see he stops himself for a moment. Anyway, the point is, if traveling the sea means death, that is where we need to be. It allows for people to be who they need to be.
I've not seen anyone mastering storms. Ships are destroyed traveling the seas every day.
Not enough.
And what is enough? Would you have no ships travel? If they're strong enough, why do they not belong or have the right to make the voyage?
They're not strong enough, that's the problem. I would see them be refined.
Who made it your job to refine them? Who made it your job to be the stone that carves others' freedom?
It's a blessed task I take up under great sacrifice. I do it not to be the hand that refines, just to be the one that keeps the forge burning, so that nature can do its job. And I thank you for your aid in this.
we're clearly eager to help, obviously, but we're also a little, maybe I'm just discombobulated about the ins and outs, right? So, chaos rules the seas. There's the inland empires, whoever they are, I forget their actual names. You won't conquer them, but you're going to control the seas and force everybody on the seas to the crucible of growth or survival or death, and death's the final answer, to become stronger. And then what?
Then we shall see what is produced.
But to what end? Like, who actually benefits? Is there some hidden hand? I mean, God forbid, Ugator or somebody else is actually driving this whole thing forward. There's got to be some other hand to be seen. You can't be doing it just for yourselves, can you?
I think we are done.
I think the blades you seek to forge will eventually destroy the chaos you've built to make them.
Bowden, you give me an insight check. Actually, anyone. You're all in this conversation. Anyone can make an insight check.
You got it. I am the worst. It's my
I am trash at it also.
technical.
But I rolled a 19 for 21.
I got 24 with the +9.
Shit.
He reacts
To the word.
when to the idea that you all would be against Ukatoa. He's done.
Yeah, that was the hot button. That was the one. Found it.
I'm over here trying to think of okay, like this is a lot of this of what he's saying is going against what Airman's like core beliefs and his oath was, and so I'm just trying to figure out how Airman is going to be like, nope, fuck you, and just attack.
It's so tired.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see that it's them that have gotten pissed off first.
Actually, it's funny because like I genuinely wondered with Aramin's background whether or not he would recognize our sarcasm or our taunts or our like feints as being actually that, versus thinking like we're actually a bunch of assholes. So like the whole crew is a bunch of out of touch assholes. Maybe.
So you don't do anything. He and the druids with him that you met, they're gonna go. Pretty quickly here. So
How many art druids are there?
visible 5.
And how many
Uh,
not visible?
how many? No. How many? I see 5 individuals. How many things with blood do I smell in a 30 feet radius?
Okay. Is that an ability, or do you have to make a perception check?
Well, I think within 30 feet, I can just do it. 60 feet.
Well, double check because remember you
Okay.
messed up the
Yeah. Let me.
the range last time, and you're like, oh, actually.
Yeah.
Well, actually.
Actually.
Well, actually.
Well, we got the class feature. Okay. You track. Okay. If source. Okay. If the source of smell is within 30 feet of you, you don't need to make any checks to discern its direction. If the source is 60 feet of you, you can follow it by making a successful DC Wisdom survival check of 15 with advantage. I can't smell.
30.
What you said? Yeah, so 30 without a check.
30. I would just start because there's. I mean, a lot of things have blood.
Yeah.
We're gonna say 35.
Wow. Okay.
35. There are 35 things.
It could be
with blood.
animals. It could be.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't have it's not an exactsies kind of thing, but he can tell that we're likely outnumbered because even if they're animals, they're probably more friendly with the druids than they are us.
Right.
Not
know.
10 of those you could probably like count off because we know that there's the 10 chosen that are semi-conscious about, but that's still a 1v5 for each of, or more now because we don't even have our full 5. It would have been one of us for every 5 of them.
Exactly. All right. Well, I just like sniffing around. I'm just like, I shake my head like in disgust, like I'm, like almost like in a like a disgusting disappointment. I guess.
did they like take their 5 and they just left 5 to us, or did they leave everybody after our discussion? Or
I would say right in this moment, you have your decision to tell them what to do, or ask them for something. Like I think they're just like, kind of take them or not.
Yeah.
And if they don't, you think they might like do something here with them. Actually, man, they're really pissed off. They're leaving all 10.
Okay.
They're just leaving.
And these chosen, they're still kind of like in and out, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay, so it sounds like you're letting them go. They walk
I'm
in the
not-
trees and are gone.
Yeah, I'm not.
They have no desire.
Without
You get that the
further-
basic with that insight, it was like they got that. They sense that this is likely going to lead to a conflict.
Mm.
And in a sense, they don't want to kill the people they just fought with. Like that's not, there's a sense of there's no reason for this to turn into a killing of each other. Let's just get out.
Yeah.
And I'm just
So
like,
they kind of want to, but they're also like, I don't want to. Like they're very conflicted.
I want a reason. I want all the reasons.
I know for me, it's like same thing. I don't want there to be, casualties of these chosen that we just saved, type deal.
Yeah.
And they're like literally right about, and so the likelihood of there being one or more casualties is very high. So if they're leaving, and like we can tell, like the likelihood of them actually coming back is so slim. Do we want to just risk the destruction of the crystals to further?
Yeah, I would say in this they go. I think they would say the center is ours. We will protect the crystals as they go. Like they're going to do what they said they're going to do and create these mutative creatures that would protect the island.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Unless you want to try to stop them, of course.
Belton speaks up and just asks, "Is Viridia still here? Or was she never here?"
Give me a persuasion check to try to get an answer to that question.
You asked the wrong guy.
Well,
You asked the question though.
And here I was being not spilling our identity or any of our
That's
mission
the
stuff
lowest
here.
roll I've ever seen.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's a negative one. As the
Did they even
hideous,
understand what he
misshapen
said?
dwarf
they understand what he's. So, yeah, I'm gonna say they have a code of like morally they don't want to kill the people they just fought aside, but that question makes them like you are definitively enemies, but they go for now.
Damn. I want to kill him.
Anansi just wants a fight. He said, "It's got blood. I can make it bleed." Yes, give me that. I would go about try if the chosen are capable of walking. I would start like leading them back. If we need to put them into like stretchers or whatnot, then I would begin that process.
Yeah. Airman's definitely helping with that. He wants to he wants to get as many people free of this as possible.
Free. Yeah,
I mean,
so
like-
you're taking the 10 that seem to
Yeah.
be sort of
Yeah.
with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And he's even very strongly considering trying to find more and seeing if he can release them so that they don't turn into whatever it is the druids are planning to do. Not sure if he's actually going to, but He doesn't like the idea. I guess he's gonna turn to the crew. The idea, the thought of them turning those people into whatever does not sit well with me. But it would likely be extremely dangerous for us to go and try to stop them.
We did just unleash chaotic wild animals that probably should have collars on them, just letting you guys know.
The wrong kind of collars. Let's not abandon
They
morality
shouldn't-
for this fucking moment. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not mad at you, Belden. You're very, very entitled to your anger and
I
frustration.
am, if nothing else, consistent. By the way, if y'all ever let me negotiate a treaty again, you're doing it wrong.
I mean,
No.
you seem to be going on. You seem to be on a good roll. So I was just
Well,
letting
on
you
your
roll.
choice about cups.
Belden, I've heard of magics that allow you to whisper in the ears of those that you can point at. Maybe you should learn that to puppet the captain. He does have a certain charisma about him.
Yes,
I
that's
actually
because I
prefer-
am glorious.
You're not wrong.
course
Craven, I actually prefer to modify their memory so they don't recall ever having seen me, and they have new ideas about what to do next. But I didn't have time for that.
It's
Please don't modify the captain's memories. He doesn't have much storage there to begin with.
I
a
wouldn't
great
waste
way
that
to
on-
save money on a bill.
It's a waste of spells, honestly. Like, at the very least, never.
You'd have to make sure the captain is on the same line of thinking as you if you expect him to be the
But
one
he
to try and
wouldn't know,
persuade
like-
others.
Aramin is just standing there smiling at this conversation as everything that you two are saying is basically just going right over his head. But he's pretending like he's following me along. He's like, yes.
Hey,
Just smile and nod. Just smile
My-
and nod.
my deepest apologies for offending Fuckhead, who, by the way, his entire retinue. But it's fine. This is fine. But, where's that placed us?
Well, we have to load up these survivors.
Or sods, yes.
And where to? We're just gonna take them to
On the boat
his
for
teeth with us.
We
Oh my
had
goodness.
a skeleton crew, right? Like it was us and then the rest of the people to make a skeleton crew.
I believe so.
So yeah.
So then we just added Ramune. So if these people come about and we can actually start getting them to until they remember enough to be like, hey, if you could take us here, we could start, training them as crew, and we wouldn't break our cap. We'd be at 23 total because our full crew is 24 on the sloop. So until they have, because I mean, Anansi, you and Tronis can potentially heal them in time.
Maybe.
I mean, it's about,
Anansi, did you go, or Jalen, did you switch fully to?
no.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still cleric.
Because Sanguine Blood Reaver to me reads all as one subclass.
Yeah.
It's so similar.
I should put Sanguine Domain Brother Reaver. That would obviously help.
I was reading that as one subclass. Okay, so with you and Tronis, do you think you could eventually get their minds right?
I'm sure
did
we could.
did we figure out what exactly spell needs to get cast for it to fix it?
We're not even sure if it's straight up a
What type
spell
of-
or if it's just time that they need to
Right.
unmutate once they're far enough away from the stuff.
Can I do a medicine check on them to see if they're even taking two, like are they naturally healing now, or was there something I know that could possibly speed that up?
Yeah, do a medicine check.
Oof. That's a +5 for 8.
I think you're doing it wrong. Actually, hang on. Don't palpitate the chest. Palpitate a little bit lower. I don't mind. That's a check.
What do you give him?
Thank you.
I'm
I think
gonna aid.
I think he's also
Yeah.
because he's the surgeon. So
Right, I got you.
Dirty 20.
Damn.
Nice. I like it.
Is the harm physical or spiritual or magical or something else? I guess the question.
Yeah, I
to
think
me is,
let's
like,
do a few
what's the
questions.
nature
I
of it?
think the nature here is that their brains have shifted. And so it's a matter of trying to find these memory paths in the brain working in its new way. Generally what you did before, a lot of these people who are collected seem all to have some reason why they were or at least I would say some might have like a divine spark within them. Others could have a certain heritage that would give them an edge. Even draconic or the like. A lot of what these were meant to do, at least when they were thing, is find those sparks, find those things that are separated, and bring them out. But in doing so, it has the potential to drastically change the people. And I would say the nature of the memory thing you think might have to do with what happened with Ramane, that what might have messed with them is the fact they retained themselves so much. So there might be a way to restore the memories, but because it was done in a slow manner, it would take a slow process.
So basically, this is no crew. They're useless right now. Sorry.
Not necessarily useless.
they just don't remember who they are currently.
Yeah.
So that if we put them to work, doing stuff so that way they're
Space Jam.
making the new
Space
connections.
Like when they take their abilities, the basketball players' abilities in Space Jam.
Yeah. Some of those lines. I would say like things like a daily casting of Great Restoration, or if you could develop a type of ritual that potentially like seeps that magic in for like a slow medicine. There's some things that can be done here that could probably help them.
I can give them blood transfusions.
You say blood or blood?
Blood. No, I don't. I can't do any greater restoration, unfortunately. But
that's also super expensive to do on 10 people,
right?
Daily.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't have anywhere close to the spell slots to even attempt that.
Just out of morbid curiosity, could we pass their open hands over the lot of 6 or so weapons we have and just see if there's any resonation there, maybe?
Or one of you, the bloodline.
Yeah. So the sense you get from these, I was just going to clarify the weapons. Blood is a way that it could potentially be brought about. Get that whatever these weapons were made for, it could be those who also choose to take up the destiny by doing certain things.
So even if they're
So it's not straight up like a Moonblade passed down to a descendant type thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there was like this thing of like where maybe it was meant to be that way, but the lady has like collected these artifacts and began collecting people. So like things that were meant to have been done a certain way, she had circumvented to make them less than ideal. Because again, she had this kind of obsession with this collection of people.
Right.
But they're conscious, right? Like they can still like.
Yeah, like you can. Like, yeah, it's just I would say like trying to ask them questions.
Yeah.
About their past isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
I guess where there's going to be a lot of what, yeah, those sorts of things. I don't want to frustrate like you're trying to have that, but yeah, I mean, if they don't really want to be here, things are going crazy. They definitely over time can like develop personality that maybe is separate from theirs. But yeah.
So it would definitely be. I'd definitely start going about like pairing them up with the other 6 crew that we have, so that way they can at least start doing something, because you can't just have 10 people sitting around on a boat not doing stuff, and basically just pair them off to basically everybody other than like myself and the captain, so that way they can start learning ship duties and the like, making introductions as best I can, seeing if they don't recall their names, what they'd like to be called in the interim until they remember, or if they'd like us to give them names and the like, and just going through all that. Because I'm assuming that at this point we're back on our ship, because they were like, hey, we're not going to let you just, destroy the crystals. We want this place to go into this chaotic hell, essentially.
Yeah. Well, largely, yeah, because you also didn't necessarily have a plan for them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing, so that way they at least will have something to occupy their time if we find a way to, slowly start healing them, or if, they start creating these new memories and their minds start, connecting the pathway to memories that then, they find the old ones. Great, if we're not currently able to. And then if any of them are really like, hey, y'all are insane, we don't want to do this, then we call, because we don't really have the time to take them back in ourselves. It'd be one of those things where we be like, hey, Jajal, we need you to come pick some people up and then take them away. That way it's not not spending months to get back to like a landmass that they want to be at, and then we can kind of just pawn that portion of it off to the master of spies. If people are like, no, you guys are insane, I don't want to be on this ship with you guys anymore.
Sure.
But if for the time being, it's like, hey, for right now, this is your situation. We're going to help you as best we can.
Does
Yeah.
does yeah, like totally. Totally lost what the hell I was going to say now. It's all good. It'll come back to me.
Well, Airman's gonna go around and is trying to get to know each and every single one of the new ones personally. Like he's very much, as the captain, he was very much delegating to begin with, but he's kind of doing even more of that to try to. He's being very proactive in the teaching and care of the rescued.
Okay.
Belton, for his part, treats them like random labor. Like, can you peel potatoes? Well, you learn today. Fine. Today, potatoes. Tomorrow, maybe you're lucky enough to move up to, like, I don't know, soup We'll fry soup tomorrow. Let's do that.
You're acting John Silver to their Jim Hawkins.
I remember now. Does anyone know how to play an instrument? You know, like if you play a common song that someone knows, maybe they'll start remembering some stuff. We don't got a bar.
Oh,
but
you're
maybe
asking,
someone's proficient in instrument.
Yeah. Did you really just ask if the guy that was playing in the middle of a storm knows how to play an instrument? Yes, I know how to play an instrument. Is there any soul behind my playing? Absolutely not. It is entirely mechanical.
Well, you know, but if it's good and
But the tunes
recognizable,
are very much recognizable. Like it's recognizable. There's just, you know how you can hear the same song played by different musicians and it feels different. It feels empty almost when I play.
Jeez.
But it's, like the song is very exact. Like
baby shark.
so, like it's technically fantastic. There's no soul in it.
Oh man.
I would win all the competitions, but I'd have very few actual fans that are like, "Oh, I love his music."
Oh.
Airman will pretend that he knows some old knows some old sea shanties that he can try to sing.
Did you say pretend?
No, he actually does know
I
some.
was gonna say.
I thought about pretend, but then I was like, no, he actually would know them.
Right.
I mean,
I
they're
would hope so.
primarily they're not really like piratey sea shanties though.
We're not pirates, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, what's the next step? Where should we head? We gotta plan our next navigation.
I think this conversation would be happening in the like war room or whatnot. But
yeah,
we stopped here on a whim. Our initial destination was the Shattered Teeth.
Yes.
If I had to make a guess as to where they have a safety, that seems like as good a place to start as any.
We were made aware of giants on the Shattered Teeth. Do you think that these artifacts we found could be any use to them? Maybe give us free passage, or maybe even diplomatic, bolstering.
There's something to be said about returning artifacts to a culture, depending on how useful they would be to us otherwise. But we at least have the information that there's the possibility of cloud giants traveling through the fog of the Shattered Teeth that surrounds the Shattered Teeth at least. So we're at least ahead in that regard. As to which island we start on, I think we just have to come to one once we break through the fog and chart from there.
Yes.
Yep.
Hopefully you'll be able to track the blood scent of Kaman should we come to an island that he's actively on. If you can recall its scent, so to speak.
It shouldn't be an issue.
So we'll start heading towards the Shattered Teeth. Anansi, did we need to restock at all?
We'll need to make a stop. Probably. So, hang on, let me look at the map again.
Or were we able to wait before we leave the island? We wanted to go diving to check to see if the scuttled ships had anything, right?
I think Matt kind of just gave us that because that's how we knew that the containers were damaged from even transporting the crystals.
Okay. I thought that was from what the druids had said to us.
Matt, are we able to, before leaving here, are we able to resupply anything here?
Yeah, either from various stores in the hideout or
I would
from the scuttled ships.
say Yeah, I would say you can probably fill up your supplies because you could have taken it from the ships.
Okay, cool.
Give you that would have been a thing. on
Yeah,
your-
I would. Okay, cool.
Right.
And then from here, would you say? I'm just like trying to look at the site. Like,
Can you send me
how
that
many-
link? Because the Exandria channel kind of got yeeted, I think, and it's not under the
It should be.
World Anvil
Oh,
thing. Thank you.
Oh, cool.
No, I'll just bookmark it.
There we go.
I actually had to double check that was the
Yeah,
correct
that's what I'm looking
map because I've got two different maps up. One of them is the Exandria Red Giant maps one, which is really nice.
So there we go. Here we go. All right. So how many legs would it take for us to go to the, ladies' domain to? I mean, I guess the northernmost island there. If we're heading that way, trying to aim that way.
The northernmost island.
Yeah, after the Fool's Curtain.
Yeah. I'd say you're pretty much looking at a leg.
Okay, only one leg. All right, bet.
But
So
I would say
where-
probably because you'd have to navigate the Fool's Curtain would be about two.
It could
Now
be
that I think
two
about it.
or three.
I think it's going to be it's going to be probably two. Just because the Fool's Curtain itself is not going to be easy to get through.
Right. It all depends on how we navigate. All right, cool. Then say we should be good till we get to the next island, and maybe we can find some supplies there. But afterwards, we should definitely look for porch if there's not a proper one there. But that can definitely make us last and pinch a few coins.
And what was the thing that we needed to fix the boat if it got damaged again? Or was that part of what we were able to get off the other ships?
The gear, you can get the gear.
Gear, yeah, that's stuff that we could get off the ship.
Grub, grog, and gear. That's right. The three
Yeah.
G's of
Yeah.
shipping.
Along
Yeah,
with
'cause we-
essentially probably 4,500 gold to add to your stores.
Nice.
Money.
But all the like types of things that would be on the ship, you don't have the facilities to have transferred it, and given the timeline that you had, it was probably just all sent to the bottom.
Yeah.
I'd say because there wasn't like a bunch of time to get it off.
Mhm.
It was like Grub's getting, we got to get these to the bottom. So if they
So-
would die from pressure if they come out.
So, 2 legs you said to get through the Fool's
Yeah.
Curtain
I
and
think
the
here-
depending on chicken.
island.
Yeah, I think here because I think it's going to be more because remember you're trying to get through the cloud. You got some
Yeah,
giant
yeah.
stuff. So I think we'll probably end unless there's something else.
Yeah, no, I guess.
No, I've got
that's-
nothing.
that's-
No.
Because 1 leg to get to the Fool's Curtain makes sense, and then we have to have the little adventure through the actual Fool's Curtain,
Right.
and then the following leg after we make our way, or don't make our way out of it. We
Yeah,
might
who knows?
just die in the Fool's Curtain.
Or maybe we'll just go in the Fool's Curtain and end up just doing a U-turn and coming right back out this side. It's very possible.
Like that one time,
That
5
has
weeks in the
happened,
curtain.
That can happen in the curtain. All right, with that then, we will end for today. And watch, thank you so much, and we'll come to some more pirating next week.